One of the most misunderstood players in English football. Many love him, many hate him, but his ability is clear to see. How did Zaha go from being seen as a big-time flop to one of the most dangerous players in the Premier League? Click on the subscribe button right now, and most importantly, like the video, it really helps a lot. Wilfred Zaha played in the Crystal Palace Academy and was promoted to the first team in 2010, where he signed a 2-year pro contract. He was a skillful winger, and in 2011 he became a key member in the Palace first team as a teenager. Fast forward 2 years and he had 10 goals and 7 assists for the Palace first team. Despite his young age, his skill, pace and football IQ was picked up by major Premier League teams like Man United and Liverpool. In January 2013, he signed a deal with Manchester United for £10 million, but he had to spend the rest of the season with Palace due to league regulations. In his last 6 months, he did his boyhood club proud as he scored 2 goals in the playoff semi-final, and Palace would be promoted to the Premier League after winning the playoff final. With the retirement of Sir Alex at the end of 2012-13, David Moyes took over the following season. Seeing as Zaha was signed under the Sir Alex era, Moyes didn't seem to have Zaha in his plans. In his first 6 months, he had only 2 official appearances and wasn't given a run of games to play. In January, he got a loan move to Cardiff City for 6 months, and David Moyes got sacked later that season. Zaha openly said in an interview how he was disappointed and how he wasn't given a fair chance to prove himself.
They said you've got one more session for us to decide. United said this? Yeah. Van Gaal. So basically I was on trial again. Imagine you're going team that thingied you and you're just basically on trial.
It's so easy to make money online these days, and with 1xBet it gets even easier. With great betting odds, this app allows you to bet on live casino games, video slots, soccer matches and much more. Get a 200% first deposit bonus and more incredible promos when you install the app. All you have to do is click the link in the description. Yes, it's that easy. All the instructions are followed by the link so you don't get lost. Don't miss this opportunity. Join 1xBet today. He also mentioned how in the 2014-15 preseason, Louis van Gaal opted to play Zaha as a wingback or a striker, as he didn't fancy playing wingers. Once again, he was between a rock and a hard place and wasn't being given a fair chance.
I was just by myself throughout the whole David Moyes period. That's when I just went through depression and all sorts. Went to see them in the room or whatever. They were just like, we don't think you're good enough. You can go.
This led to Zaha needing a way out once again, and he returned to his former club Crystal Palace on a season loan. He had a decent season, scoring 4 goals and 2 assists, and the deal was made permanent for £3 million at the end of the season. Zaha was labelled a failed wonder kid at this point, and to be fair to him, he stayed grounded and played on. In 2015-16, he was vital in the road to the FA Cup final, where they fought hard but lost in extra time to Manchester United. He won the Crystal Palace Player of the Year, and the club finished in 15th place in the league. On December 26, 2016, Zaha would be denied a penalty in a game versus Watford, where we got this golden moment. Despite drama over him being labelled as a diver, he had a spotless season for Palace and won the Crystal Palace Player of the Season for the 2nd time in a row. 18 goals and assists in the Premier League, and he was rewarded by a 5-year contract which would shut down any speculation of him leaving for a bigger club. In the 2017-18 season, Palace had a really poor start, and it looked like they might get relegated from early. Zaha played many games as a striker, and while it didn't work out at first, the team managed to gain enough points to be safe by the final league game. He picked up April Premier League Player of the Month for the crucial 4 goals he scored to keep them above the drop zone, 9 goals and 5 assists, and yet again, Crystal Palace Player of the Year award. his third in a row. Zaha moved above Chris Armstrong to become Crystal Palace all-time Premier League top goalscorer after a goal at Fulham, a big personal goal which put him in the Palace history books. Zaha came out and complained publicly about the lack of protection from referees in September 2018.
I end up in arguments with referees because I don't know, like today the guy studded me in my shin. And it's like, do they need to break my leg before anyone gets a red card?
It was justified as he was the second most fouled player in the last 5 years behind Eden Hazard. He got labelled as a crybaby among other names, and manager Roy at the time said the media had a campaign against Zaha. He would often take it upon himself and lash out at opponents in frustration, and was sent off for doing so in a game versus Southampton. He finished 18-19 with 10 goals and 10 assists. For sure, he was top 5 best wingers in the league for that season. Zaha was willing to leave the club in the summer as lots of clubs were interested. Arsenal for one were very interested, but after Zaha was priced too high by the club, they signed Nicolas Pepe from Lille instead. This was a bit unfair by the club, but Zaha signed a new deal the summer before, meaning it was always going to be hard to leave on his own terms. The following season was his most average season, and after getting 20 goals and assists in the 2018-19 season, he only managed 8 in 49 games this season. It could have been down to the failed move, or maybe it was just a once-off. Following an underwhelming campaign, Zaha came back on smoke as he single-handedly destroyed his former club United at Old Trafford. Later that season, he became the first player to not take a knee before kickoff, as he felt more needed to be done for the cause, and I 100% agree with him.
Why do we just get a month for celebrating black people? Why just a month? Dan, why must I kneel down and for you, that we matter, but you don't change it? So don't tell me to come and chat about stuff that's not going to change.
He ended the season with 11 league goals, and in 2021-22, he broke that goal tally by scoring 14 league goals in what was his best goal season at Palace under Patrick Vieira. For a talented youngster to play over 400 games for a Premier League club is a successful career in my eyes. His United move brought a lot of critics on him, and while he did flop, in context, it wasn't all down to him. Pogba, Memphis Depay, Martial, Daley Blind, and many talented players being misused after the Fergie era. He is 4th on the all-time Crystal Palace appearances made with 421, and within the top 15 goal scorers despite not being known for his goal scoring. He is their best player and will go down in the history books, especially for their time in the Premier League. With 1 year left on his deal, who knows whether he'll sign another extension or leave for a bigger team. Either way, he is a top level player in his prime who could have played at a much higher level. If you enjoyed, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Comment MZ22 down below so I know you made it to the end. Until then, see you in the next one. Peace out.